Howdy, folks, and welcome to episode 82. What did I call this? A digression of some damn thing. I don't know. I couldn't come up with a good topic, so we're just going to talk about just random ass crap, which, is what we ultimately, dive into anyway. So, how's everybody's week been?
Great.
He says with a mouthful of salad. McMurray, how you doing, sir?
Just working a ton, man.
What's that? You're breaking up.
Just working a ton.
Yeah. Well. We only have 2 comments so far. One from Reese, early at 6:37. Says, hey, I extend my condolences as well. Paul was a wonderful individual. Really had a great sense of humor. Was part of this, the community of, not Jay's group here. And he will be sorely missed.
Yep. Hey, what's up?
Let's shut the hell up for a minute here for the old Paulie. Seems like a good one.
Yeah, I kind of want to go through some of his videos and kind of find the ones that really got me hooked on watching them. But I kind of said in the post I did, I think his Crossfire stuff is what I kind of got attracted to initially, and possibly some of the Flames of War stuff. He was playing 15, so that got me on his channel. He played 15 and not just Flames of War, right? He was playing 15 and other stuff, which is what I do, and there's not that many channels that do that necessarily,
right?
So I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then he's just sounded cool, because he's from down under.
Absolutely. And that, with that accent, everything becomes 10 times cooler.
Yeah.
So, Chuck is also in the house. Says, evening all. Howdy, Chuck. Hope you're doing well. Liked that you were repping the show on your photo showing your new haircut.
Oh, yeah. Also, if you guys haven't liked or subscribed to Wiley's YouTube, go over there and subscribe. He needs 1 or 2 more to hit 500.
2. He needs 2 more. So just wait. We'll wait. Y'all jump over there. Go to Wiley Games. Let me see if I can grab a link for it real quick. Because
that or just go make 2 little email addresses and subscribe. So hang on. Let's pop open your old incognito mode.
Okay, here we go. Copy and paste. All right, boys. And if there's any ladies out there, hit it. You know what to do. Make him get 200. He's playing D&D right now, so he's not watching the show. Well, he may be watching the show. But he's playing D&D right now. So the deal is when he hits 500, he's going to do a contest, a drawing. Anybody that's subscribed.
I just made him $4.99.
You go.
Wait, does he need to be? Did it have to be tonight or just in general when he hits 500?
When he hits, I don't think it has to be tonight. Be awesome if it's tonight. Let me see if I can find the Facebook post he made. Wiley.
You have to sign into a Google account to subscribe on YouTube. What?
Yeah. Google owns YouTube.
Well, I know that they own the thingy. I didn't realize that you had to use a Google account.
Yep.
Like, what happens to those of us who owned or who had like YouTube accounts before that?
You have a Google account now.
Yeah, they give you a Google account.
So I have minibd@yahoo.com at Gmail.
Yeah,
Probably.
Oh,
maybe. I
well,
don't
there
know.
we go.
What's up, Walkabout?
Hey, Chris Long.
Sorry, I'm finishing my
Um,
dinner, and we're trying to get Jay 500 subscribers on YouTube. So we're a little bit silent here while we're trying to make that happen.
Yeah.
That's not the right one.
Yeah. So the deal is when he hits 500, if you are a member of the Wiley Games page on a certain date, and I don't remember off the top of my brain what that date is, but it's sometime in September, then he's going to do a drawing. And the grand prize of that drawing is the Fistful of Lead Fantasy Hardback.
Whoa,
So, yeah.
that's pretty cool.
There's also a couple of choose your own deck cards, and I think also another game as well.
It's 500.
A book. He's at
You got
500.
it. Yep.
Outstanding.
Yes, he did. Bam.
I just recently created a wardrobe play sports because I was playing some sports games, and someone wisely suggested I not post those on my World War II video channels. Like, all right, I'll just create a new channel. Boom. So wardrobe play sports to subscribe to Wiley Games.
So, let's see. Bunkhouse Games is also here. Let's see. He says, I'm on tonight. Got a lot going on, but trying to get through it all. Very well, sir. Warmutt. Blather means nonsense, right? Yes, it does, Warmutt. Thank you for joining us.
Who is echoing like crazy?
I think
I think it's
it's
Warmutt.
I think it's the golden mud.
Echoing. I'm not even on the YouTube channel.
Sometimes we get feedback from the. Oh. Hello, testing. Is it mine? Is it his? Hello. It sounds better now.
I'm checking. I don't know. I can't tell.
Get with your producers in the back and ask them.
Yeah, well, it doesn't help that I've got a insane feline in my room.
Oh, here, I'm not snowball here. I had it on the camera mic.
You killing me.
Well, I had it on the camera mic, so I put it on the snowball.
Oh, Bunkhouse just subbed as well, so that's cool. Good job.
Yeah.
That is a big prize.
Yeah, it wasn't you, McMurray. It was Warmutt. He had the wrong microphone keyed up.
Gotcha.
It's okay. Hey, happens to everybody.
Mutt
It
in
happens
the
to
house. Woof, woof.
Yep.
Walk about.
So yeah, we can go. Wiley can go from 450 to 500 in one damn day. I go from 220 down to 215 and back up to 219 in like 4 weeks.
Well, let's get some guests on that have 2,500 followers or something, and that will probably happen.
Well, yeah,
bro.
there is that. I
Other
did.
than- Other than
I did-
wardrobe. No offense, Teddy.
I
You're a
did
cameo,
reach out
baby.
I did reach out to John from Joy of Wargaming, see if he'd like to come back on the show. And that one is specific. I have a reason for having him on, other than wanting to get as many people to sub to my show as possible. But I want to talk to him about game design and how solo gaming either affects design or design affects solo gaming. because I think that'd be an interesting conversation. So I'm waiting to hear back from him on that. Also, I'm hoping to get Mr. Thomas Foss back on the show, have him talk about what's going on over at Skull and Crown, because
He's not selling his ancient triremes. That's what's going on.
well, maybe we can talk him into it. You never know.
That guy must be one of the coolest, tippest dudes we have had on here.
Yeah, he by far is the hippest dude ever. So yeah. Kenneth Seidenblad's in the house. Evening, y'all. Evening, Kenneth. Glad you could make it. We got 10 watching right now. Thank you one and all for watching. I don't know how exciting the show is going to be tonight. Like I said, I couldn't come up with a topic tonight, so we're just going to talk about random ass crap.
Or
Which, you know, why not, right? We're going to blather, as I mentioned. What you looking at there, Todd?
Nothing. I'm looking at Horse and Musket and Starfighters for a project I'm working on.
All right. We will wait with bated breath to see what you bring up onto your channel.
It'll be a while.
So that's okay. Let's see. Go ahead.
Well, you had asked how we had when you want to talk about what we've been playing or doing.
Yeah.
Is that later?
No, it can be right now. I do not have a agenda in any way, short, shape, or form.
Well, I've had a joyous time playing Barkman's Corner over there. On the table. And so I used Bigger Battles. So let me step back. So Barkman's Corner, it's a Flames of War scenario. So it's designed, the scenario, the way it's designed was for Flames of War. So there's probably for all these game systems, I should have made, tweaks for each rule system. And I tried to make little ones, but so it includes 3 tank platoons. So that's 5 tanks each, plus a couple extras, plus a hero guy pool. And then that's for the Americans, no infantry. And then for the Germans, it's 1 Panther, it's Barkman, and then 2 platoons. Nope, sorry, 2 squads.
Yo.
I'm getting feedback off of you for some reason.
And then so and the 2 squads and a leader, and they're all
right.
with their SS or something. So I mean, that's the scenario. The Americans have to get an objective on the end of the table where Barkman and the 2 troops are. It's all bocage filled table, and they can't. Part of the road's blocked at the beginning, so they have to go through the bocage for a little bit to get to the road, or just keep going through the fields. It slows them down and stuff. Anyway, so I played it in Fistful of Toes 3, which is really designed for platoon stands, but they do have a 1-to-1 version, so each stand is a squad. So there's a way to do it. I used that. I used Iron Cross, which is kind of it's from Great Escape Games. Each stand is a squad, so it's closer to Flames of War. And I'd say the closest really to Flames of War design, because each stand's a squad, and kind of company level. And then I used Bigger Battles, and there's no question. Bigger Battles was the rule set that was the most fun to play that particular scenario. So, and I think because it's really a skirmish scenario, and I know Bigger Battles is still skirmish, just a large skirmish, right, compared to core rules. It just really works best, and I know we pimped out those rules a lot, and I had no preference for which one worked better. I mean, I was kind of trying to learn Fistful of Toes, which is very confusing, actually, having those 2 rule sets. So I was kind of hoping I could get Fistful of Toes to work, but it's just not. It's making it, shoehorning it in, into a game that it really isn't made for, really.
Right. So,
and then Iron Cross, similar. It's not really designed for a scenario like that, because there's just too many special things you have to do for Barkman, because that's it's a token, has a token economy for how you activate your troops. So the Americans had like 18 tokens to 7 or something. So it was just kind of like,
Wow.
okay. So I had to make up a lot of stuff to kind of make it work. And then bigger battles, it just worked. It was fun. Barkman lasted 2 turns longer. And in fact, I took it down to the wire, and when I rolled, I went with the first scenario rules. So when I hit turn 9, when I hit turn 9, I had to roll a dice and roll a d10. And if the last turn played, which was 8, plus what I rolled on the d10 equaled 15 or more, the game was done. I rolled 3, and so I think I went 2 extra turns. So anyway, it was a blast. I had a really fun time doing it. So I'm excited to get more World War II action, but it just shows me what a good sized battle it is for bigger battles. It's really, to me, that kind of platoon level, like what you would see in bolt action or chain of command or something like that. So
Very cool.
yeah, I would say it's the most fun bigger battle I've played
Big battle.
in World War II, which has been pretty much all I've played. So anyway, and I did play it as I went back and forth during the game. The benefit of playing by yourself, is it playing with yourself or by yourself? I can't remember. Anyway,
Solitaire.
Column A, column B.
Playing solitaire.
You say tomato, I say playing with myself. So what I did is I grouped each tank. Well, because if I didn't do this, again, the Americans would have 17 cards to Germans 5 or something. That's not going to work. So I grouped the tanks into platoons. So each 5 tanks was a platoon of tanks. That was a unit. So they activated on that one card. And they had to, I made their cohesion like 2 inches or something like that, because 1 inch was a little close for me. So 2 inches, but they moved individual. I went back and forth. I don't even want to talk about it because I don't have it settled on how I handled the hits. And each tank only had 2 damage as opposed to 4.
Right.
What is kind of so. Anyway, really good time. Had a blast. And I'm probably going to play the scenario one more time using Flames of War version 3 because someone asked me if I was going to do that, so I'll give it a shot. And then there'll be time to play a chain of command or bolt action or some other scenario using bigger battle.
There you go.
I'm finished. Thank you.
You're fine. So Ken Seidenblad comes in with random ass crap. Battleship Texas got moved to Galveston and will not be going back to San Jacinto. That is correct. So yesterday, the Battleship Texas Foundation, and Hexy's just in time to hear me talk about Navy stuff.
Good night, all. Been a great show.
Yeah. So yesterday, the Texas Battleship Texas Foundation, in conjunction with lots of other groups and people, have moved USS Texas BB-35. They've moved her from her mooring at the San Jacinto Battleground in La Porte, Texas, to a dry dock in Galveston, Texas, where they're going to be doing, the current estimate is $35 million worth of repairs. What all that's going to entail, I'm not sure, but it's definitely going to have just about every hull plate along and below the waterline replaced, from my understanding, and much of the interior that's below the main deck is going to get refurbished as well. There is still what was that?
Replace that much of the belt?
Yeah, if you look at some of the photos of her sitting in the dry dock, the the entire belt or the entire water line is looking rough. They were they
$35
they
million
were
dollars.
what's that?
I said no wonder it's going to cost $35 million. They're going to put like 17 tons of steel into the belt.
Yeah, well, I don't think they're going to make it, fully armored as it was. They're going to make it shaped right, but I don't think they're going to fully, they're not going to have 10 inches of steel there. But I could be wrong. I don't know. But where she is going to end up is still up in the air. Some folks have said Baytown, Texas. Some have said Beaumont, Texas, both of which I think are poor choices. Returning to San Jacinto is a non-starter. My brother wants to know is how accessible my table saw is. It's fairly accessible. It's in the garage. We should be able to get to it easily. So we should be able to get it out there tomorrow. No problems. Yes, and he says, well, I would like to see it at Wolfpack Parker, I think is what it's called. It's there is a submarine and a destroyer escort already right across from where they're working on her in Galveston, and laying her up there would be really nice. They're hoping to be able to get her into a dry dock. Yeah, Seawolf Park. That's it, Kenneth. Thank you. Seawolf Park. They're hoping to eventually get her into a dry dock, a permanent dry dock display. So we're hoping, because they don't want to have to get this, go through this again, because back in 1988 through 1988, 1990, they did the same thing. So we're looking at, 32 years ago? Is that right? Yeah, 32 years ago. And then prior to that, 1988 is when they moved her. Prior to that, she went into the slip in 1948, so it would have been 40 years at that point. So she's she was commissioned in 1914. She was launched in 1912, so she's 110 years old. So she's been around a bit. She is the last, what is considered dreadnought. She is the only battleship to have served both in World War I and World War II. First battleship to have anti-aircraft guns put on her. First battleship to have an aircraft launched off of her. And one of the first ships in the United States Navy to have production radar installed. So a lot of history goes there. So it's good to see her getting worked on. And let's see. Walkabout Games, yeah, says I watched Texas being moved live yesterday. Yeah, I watched several of the live shots. Give you an idea of how big of a deal this was. I think it's WAFF or WFAA, one of those twos, call letters out of Dallas sent their helicopter down to do live feeds. So, that's about a 4.5 hour drive, about 2 hours in the helicopter. But they felt it's important enough to send their news helicopter down. Instead of watching the traffic in Dallas, go watch USS Texas getting moved. They actually were about an hour ahead of schedule with her, and got to the dry dock. They were a little concerned at first, thought that she would take on water and sink was a possibility. So when they realized that they had done a good enough patch job on her to keep her from sinking, They kicked her up to about 4.5 knots and took her down the Houston ship channel and over into Galveston, and now they're going to start getting to work on her. So fingers crossed that everything goes well, and we'll have her for many, many more years to come. So my brother says obviously it should be in Fredericksburg. So I've got a photo of my dad and me and an itty bitty tiny little J in a backpack standing in front of USS Texas back in about 1975 when she was still painted gray and had concrete as a deck instead of her teak wood deck. But yeah, we're got a picture of it. I might post it up in the group. So, but yeah, that was exciting for me yesterday. I'll admit, there were some times I got a little choked up and got a little emotional, and seeing some of the photos that people had taken while she was, moving. She wasn't moving under her own steam, of course, because she doesn't have any drive shafts or screws, and her rudder was, for whatever reason, her rudder got welded at about a 5 to 10 degree off center angle. Why that happened, I don't know. But I know why it got welded, but I don't know why it was at an angle.
Hey, Jeff.
Sir?
She has no screws. Sound familiar? I'm out.
Yeah. Anywho, so yeah, that's what I did yesterday while I was doing end of month processing at work. Was catching that on the YouTubes, as it were. So, what have you been up to, Hexy?
I just finished Aachen up, hour in, 1944, crossing the line, and just shot my review video of that before I popped on here. Now, so
That's cool.
that table is clear, and I'm ready to move on to the next thing.
Now, did you finish the game? I mean, did you go all the turns or what?
Turn 7, and I was looking at the victory points on it. Wow, interesting. We'll leave it at that.
What?
We'll leave it at that.
Oh, okay.
But I did a 10-point review on it, so I thought I'd try it for the first time to see how that sounds and see what everybody thinks. So, but she's loading up now.
Okay, that's cool. Did you
But I
like it?
enjoyed it. So yeah.
Oh, hey. I should probably ask this offline. If you'd be willing to share your rating system with us so we could use it as well.
I will. I definitely will. Because you and I talked about this about a year ago, I think.
Yeah. That'd be cool. Oh, yeah. I can call it the Hex to Hex patent and pending rating system.
Well, it may need some modifications. I'm giving Murray to look at it too.
We've been watching a friend of ours, Chris. There's a Consim World Monster Con that happens in Tempe, Arizona about this time of year. And they play, the name doesn't say it, monster games. So, for example, the World at War 85, I think they're playing on that big map.
Yeah.
That 6 foot map. And then there's like OCS that's got, I don't know, 16 now. I don't know, it's just ridiculous. So we've been getting there's been photos on Facebook, but a friend of ours has been sending us the games he's been playing. He's been playing a World War I, 1914 Twilight in the East. Yep. And it's just a fun. It's a monster games, and it goes from Saturday to Sunday, right? I mean, a week. And he says they play 9 a.m. to 11 p.m.
Wow.
Every day. Yeah, that's right. This is right up his alley. I think, yeah, it would be fun. But I played a Monster Con, and I just played a game 4 days in a row, and it's tiring. And I did not play 9 to 11. And it was
that's kind of crazy talk there.
It's intense. Well, no, it's actually not intense. It's actually in a convention center. But I'm just. I'm on tonight. I'm on all week.
You're on something.
Anyway, so that's been kind of fun. That is a bucket list cardboard hex encounter convention for me. But there's a couple others, but that's one of mine.
They have one in Dallas now too, don't they?
Yeah, I find that interesting. It's like really Dallas and Tempe. That seems. I mean, I know they're not close, but they're relatively close compared to.
When you went out here in the east.
I think he's talking about it, right?
Well, I would think so if they've moved one to the central. So, yes, John.
Yeah, hey, John, I saw your comment about my robe. That's not why I took it off. I took it off because I was hot. But your comment about my robe, there will be repercussions. So I guess I shouldn't say that on the web out loud like that.
No,
would call it the webs.
The webs.
I see the Gold Mutt setting up some. I bet I think he got a pretty exciting game this week.
Yeah, Mr. Mutt.
It looks like
How'd the werewolves go?
Pretty much came close to kicking the halfling's butt. Well, got away. Leader died, so I got to find a new leader, which means I'll just substitute the sergeant to be the leader. And then I got to find new guys because they all are being taken care of by the surgeon right now. So they all missed games, so I got to pretty much come with a new crew.
It happens.
Mr. Wardrobe, are you disassembling without doing what I thought you might do?
No, I'm just kind of picking up because I got all the remnants from all those other game systems, so I'm just cleaning it up. It's driving my limited OCD crazy.
Because this is going to do wonders for me to see you do this.
Why? You're going to have to find a rule book.
Yeah,
he said Flames of War, and I bought Flames of War, remember?
No, you need the right rule book.
Oh, here we go. I'm using version 3, Jeff, but it'll be close enough.
Oh, buddy. Except for that it won't, because the whole point of the morale is that the German stands are just going to run away because they're small footballs to start with.
Yeah, it looks like we woke up with Murray.
Yeah.
Yeah, McMurray's finally unmuted.
John says he just received GMT musket and pike. Wife got the box off the porch and said, "I'll give it to you for Christmas." And I'm thinking, why? You didn't buy it. Christmas rules.
Yes.
And E4 Airman says, John, maybe she saw Tony's board game life. He talked about telling his wife to give him his orders for Christmas. There you go. McMurray, what have you been up to?
Working. I did.
What else besides working? I know you've been working. Have you been doing anything hobby related?
Yes. I did a little bit of work converting the campaign system for Steamer Wars to try and play an Age of Sail campaign. That has worked so far quite well. I played a couple of games of It Is Warm Work, which is what I'll be using for the tactical combat in that system. That is still as enjoyable as I recall, so that's good. And yeah, so that's about it. Other than that, I pushed pause on most of those projects. Printing the Order of Battle for the Royal Australian Navy in 1940 in 1/2400, so a little substantially bigger than the 6mm stuff, just so you can kind of see it. And quite actively looking for 3 guys in slouch hats, 2 of whom have Lewis guns, to play Gunner O'Halloran, Gunner McMurray, and GPW Meredith for the Emu War. So
There you go.
just kind of it's going to be polycentric for a while here.
Yeah.
Everything else is kind of just we'll fucking get to you eventually. But yeah, the scrap iron flotilla is going to kick the shit out of some Italians and Germans in the Mediterranean, and then we're going to kill a lot of birds.
Outstanding. So you got the emus all ready to go?
They need to be primed. They're already printed, as well as their ostrich advisors that they've got working for them. So, yeah.
Nice. So, all right. I'm actually painting right now. I'm painting up some submarines.
Ooh, I just clipped some submarine counters.
Yeah, there you go. Were those Japanese or were they American?
They were both.
Okay. So you had a crap ton of Gatto class and probably I class for the Japanese.
I think they kind of abstract them as patrol stuff and
Okay,
in that game.
so they don't name them out like they do the surface ships.
I don't remember seeing any names on them, Chris. To be honest with you.
All right, that's fine. So, what else is going on? Getting ready for recruits coming up at the end of this month.
Our game submissions still open for recruits.
What was that? You were too far away from your microphone.
Our game submissions still open for recruits.
Anybody else hear him right?
No.
Okay.
Our game submissions still open for recruits.
I believe so, yes. Yes. It will be for probably at least another week. So for those that are going to be able to make it, I'll be there. McMurray will be there. I am going to be running the Star Wars table at for Jay Wiley. And there will also be Battlesuit Alpha. Hopefully, fingers crossed, Battlesuit Alpha will be available for purchase and for pickup, along with those really boss cards that he came up with. And of course, you'll have a chance to play it also. And then there will be at least one game of Reloaded, as well as some other versions. And then my understanding is Chris Klecky will be there with his 54 millimeter French and Indian War stuff. So lots of chances to play Fistful of Lead that weekend. Reloaded, Galactic Heroes, Star Wars, Battlesuit Alpha, and Horse and Musket, as well as possibly some other versions as well.
Plus, there'll be a lot of other miniature games too, right?
Oh yeah, there'll be just a crap ton of other games. You know, so even if you don't like Fistful of Lead, and if you don't, you're wrong. No, I kid. There's going to be lots of different games there for people to play and take part in. It's just an all-around great show. I'm almost positive that if you are a Warlord Games fan, John Russell from Warlord Games US will be there. And just a lot of homebrewed games too. So, yeah. Let's see here. Let's get ahead. Let me go back here. E4 Airman says McMurray must have a brilliant mind, as I have never heard anyone visit so many topics in such a short time. You have no idea, sir. It's insanity. Reese, he's back from the turkeys. He says kill all flightless birds. I believe he's referring to the emus there, McMurray.
Yep.
Let's see here. Hex, how is the attack on Leningrad coming? Warmut, Kenneth Seidenblad said he watched the Halfling Werewolf game. Good times.
Oh, thanks, Ken. It was pretty cool.
Noah Doyle's here. Good to see you. Hex responded with starting the turn northwards air. All right. And then how different is Reloaded from Core? The biggest difference is how you handle hand-to-hand combat, how you handle wounds in hand-to-hand combat. So in Core, it's a opposed roll where the two combatants will each roll their close combat die type. And let's say they're just two normal guys swinging at each other. They both roll d10s. And the difference between the two results gives you the
It gives you the number of dice you roll on the wound chart versus the difference in Core provides a bonus to your single roll on the wound chart.
right. So in Core, let's say there's a 4-point difference. I rolled a 2, you rolled a 6. That's a 4-point difference. You get a +2 to your wound roll. In Reloaded, if there's a 4-point difference, you're picking up 4 dice and rolling those 4 dice on the wound chart. It can get deadly very, very fast. The other thing is there's not shock, if I remember correctly. You're either knocked down. You're always knocked down when you, if you get shot or you get wounded, and you can get. You're knocked down. You're knocked down and wounded, or you're out of action. So those are the biggest. Those are your biggest differences. The card activation is the same. The card specials are essentially the same. All the other mechanics are the same except for how you deal with wounds. Bunkhouse says, once my life gets settled down, I've got a couple of fistful of lead scenarios percolating on my mind. One sci-fi, one Weird West. Very good. If you need any ideas for Weird West, just talk to the Mutt. He's got blue smoke and werewolves all the time.
I have a question for Hex real quick. Whenever you're done going through the comment.
Oh, let me just finish these two out real quick. He says, Bunkhouse also says, already getting ideas for terrain and scenery, planning out figures, etc. And just got to get everything settled on the home front first. Hey, I understand, man. It's do what you got to do. So go ahead, ask your question.
Well, I think you kind of answered on the text thread there or comment thread, but I was curious on hex to hex. So I assume on that Barbarossa Army Group North game, what's the situation with that one?
So what? A lot of the people checking the videos that have been giving me some ideas and to leave the victory locations, the leaky lukey and stuff there to the sort of to the east, just leave them alone and turn those mobile forces north, cut Scoff off and start heading for Leningrad as fast as you can, because I think you run into. So I punched a big hole to the south of Scoff, and I've got all the mobile forces are through it, and now I'm trying to turn north, and sure enough, at the start of this new turn, I rolled a 10 on the freaking dice for weather, and I got storm and mud.
Oh man.
So everything just got kind of bogged down. I just finished the German movement, which really wasn't much, but a lot of the infantry divisions that you need to get up there, the real strong infantry units need to get up. They've gotten to the front now, so we just have to wait for the weather to turn back the other way so that they can move quicker. But they're behind the line, and they're starting to cut off that. They're just starting to create a pocket towards around Scoff. So, and then head north after that.
Cool. Still your favorite system like that?
Yeah, so far it still is. I'm tempted to, when this one's done, maybe to not the new one. It's still a shrink wrap. The original Army Group Center, I'm debating that one. But I think my next thing is I've got to do some justice for David Heath, and I think I'm going to try to play Lock and Load Tactical.
Oh, right. Yeah, that'd be good. Cool. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what you think of that.
Which Lock and Load Tactical did you get?
Well, I had Heroes of the Motherland, but now that he sent the nice rule book and the player aids and the solitaire, I figure I need to, I've done Vuka. Vuka sent me their games. I just finished up that one. I need to do Theseus. I don't know if I'll do Donner Swap because Rough and Blue just did that. But I think I need to sort of turn the favor back for David Heath. I mean, that was so generous.
Yeah, definitely. Reese says he picked up his 54 millimeter gunfighters from storage, thinking about an ERP Vendetta ride campaign. There you go. Honestly, Reese, I would just go ahead and use the core rules, rather than Reloaded. It just, for no other reason than everything other than Reloaded is based on core. So it's you don't get yourself confused as easily when you go from Reloaded. If you're playing Wild West and you're doing Reloaded and then you decide, oh, well, let's go and play core and do Vietnam, or we're going to do Galactic Heroes and do Star Trek, or we're going to do Battlestar Galactica ships and use starfighters or what have you, because everything else is based off of core. Even bigger battles, to an extent, is based off of core. There are some differences there as well, but it's still essentially a core-based game. So now, not to say you don't want to pick up Reloaded. Reloaded's got a lot of great information in it. It's got 20, if I remember correctly, it's 20 scenarios that can be easily modified for other genres and time frames. Also, it's got a great way of handling civilians on table. If any of y'all follow Wiley on Facebook, somebody asked about how to handle, civilians moving on board, and we had one crackerjack decide, hey, I'm going to create a flow chart, and it's as Jay responded, my eyes rolled back into my head when I read the word flow chart. It's not that that in depth. You basically move your civilians, move your vehicles, move your whatever at the end of every turn, and either each group or each individual moves when you based pointing in the direction and by the number of inches that you roll on a d10. It works beautiful. You take that d10, you roll it wherever that point goes, and whatever that number is on top. Let's say you roll a 7 and it's pointing that direction. Well, you're going to move that miniature 7 inches that direction. So, Hissy Cat, yes, it is. Glad you're here. No worries on being late, sir.
You know what? Everything that comes out currently is based off of core.
Yes.
Anything coming out into the future is based off of core.
Yeah. Battlesuit Alpha is core / bigger battles. Kind of an amalgamation. So basically what he did was he took some of this and he took some of this and he made it into Battlesuit Alpha. Which, by the way, I am in the process of making a mech. Let me embiggen myself here. Pardon me while I whip this out. So I printed this guy up. Started painting him. I think he's turning out pretty good. What do you guys think?
A camo job.
Yeah, I'm gonna be adding some. I'm gonna add some dots, like a black and 2 whites. I'm thinking, throughout, kind of almost kind of like the U.S. Chocolate chip camo.
That looks good.
Yeah. So this was a mech that I got from Skullforge. I'm one of the Patreon members, and this is one of the mechs that he put out this month. So he's actually 50%. I scaled him down 50% from actual size. He's probably supposed to be closer to this tall if I had made him full size. So
Dennis, go to the fleet rules. In the second half of the book, they explain to you how to use larger miniatures if you want to use Star Destroyers and shit like that.
yeah. Where is it?
All right, there's my table of trash. That's all trash train.
That was awesome, Warmut. Can we make that screen bigger? That was super cool.
Yeah, let me do that. Hold on 1 second. Where's my mouse? There it is. Oh, dude.
Can you explain to us what you got there, Brian? That's a cool table.
Trash.
We know that, dipshit.
I'm surprised you don't see the Star Wars tank in there.
Oh, I see the Star Wars tank.
Yeah.
Pointed out. Is the hijack that tank and get it out of here.
Cool.
I'm still figuring out how else what to use miniature wise and all that. I mean, obviously it's gonna be wasteland stuff, but not sure if I should have a ship come in or not. So that'd be too much going on, I think.
Well, I know you gave us great play-by-play through the Facebook chat on the last stuff, and you could tell you were pumped up. So.
Oh yeah, that was splendid.
Oh, I wasn't sure you guys were getting irritated with me.
Not at all, man. Not at all.
So
I love the excitement you have.
Oh yeah.
It's been 2 years now since you switched over from 2.5?
Yeah, about 2.5, 3 years about, yeah. So, and this is what I have, is trash. So it looks good, man. I like it.
It looks amazing, man. What you need to do, I don't want to say you need to do this, but what I, as a consumer of your videos, would like to see is you kind of do a fly through of your buildings there with your camera and
Oh,
kind of explain. Okay, so this was made, leaving them in place, but just kind of fly by and say, this was made of like your radar dish. That's a healthy choice dinner top or or dinner bowl.
Oh yeah, a lot of them are microwave.
Yeah.
So, but no, it's gonna be something to try to smash and grab whatever. See if they get the tank out of there. Just gotta figure out little details on it. So I'm wondering if it'd be too much for going solitaire, solo, whatever. To have 3 groups in there.
No, just keep your cards separate.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I might go and I might do like you did, Todd, or whatever. Just but I love the randomness where I don't get to peek at the AI card. I turn mine over and then I don't know what the heck the AI has until I turn it over.
Yeah, I mean, if you enjoy it, keep going.
Yeah. So, but I was almost thinking about doing like Joy Wargame or like you, where you flip them all over, and then go and then do the old way, kings, queens, jacks, go down that way, and see what happens. But the problem is, I probably have a hard time. Trying to separate myself and the other guy because I know what they have.
Right.
So
you do run into that.
Yeah, I might stick to the randomness and just flip it over.
So 2 of the guys would be random, and you'd play just one of the guys.
Yeah, I'll probably go that route. Have 2 AIs. Ooh, 2 AIs, and then I'll be whoever. So there's containers out there, man. Storage containers.
Yeah.
I really like the village in the top left.
Yeah, that's where I guess we're say the civilians or whoever's going to come running out of there. I got to find a bridge to put over. You see, I got a little spot there to put a bridge over.
Could you use these, Brian?
I can't see.
They're free.
The solo system tab.
Yeah, on BGG, you can download them and print them for free. There's like 4 different types of cards in here that, I've tried them a couple times. I did it when I played France 1940. I used it.
Oh. So, but, yeah, it's kind of like borderline Wastelands Galactic Heroes I kind of got going on here.
It looks great, man.
Against each other sounds like
what mini? I'm sorry. What minis are you going to use for that?
Oh, it's I got some. They look mutated, or whatever, but I got them from. McMurray, you got to help me out.
Old Glory?
No, not Old Glory. The other company. McMurray bought a whole bunch of it.
Oh, Battle Valor.
Battle Valor. There you go. Yeah, got a whole bunch of like mutant-looking dudes.
Yep.
Now they're 25 mil, but hey man. So I'll get it to work. So maybe throw in some Galactic Marines or something. But who knows?
Well, I made my decision. 15 mil is all I'm doing anymore. I'm going to play.
I've been leaning towards that 15 mil. It seems like in 15 mil, there's so much more to pick from. So
It depends on what you're doing.
Yeah, when you're looking at places like Coruscant, there absolutely are just a ton of 15 mil.
oh god, yeah, Coruscant's one of my favorites. So
Now Chuck says he's decided 2 millimeter figures are just too darn small.
oh yeah, Rice.
I think they work great. Love them.
No, it says Ken, they can be really big ships in the fighter scale game or pretty small ships in the fleet scale game, which are both in the Starfighters book in the back.
Yep.
E4 Airman says, I use the plastic containers that hold the card from the Canon, the cartridges from the Canon printer for buildings. Yeah, those are pretty good.
Now McMurray could probably see them. I don't know if you see them, McMurray. You see, there's 3 shipping containers out there.
Yeah.
Upper in the upper right hand corner.
And then there's one over by where the bridge is going to go too.
Yeah, there's 2 in the corners, one by the bridge, and oh yeah, buddy, you know what's going to be in those things.
Sean Hudson says, dude, I'm going to need my hubcap back from when you're done with that array.
No, it's a flying saucer.
And Kenneth thanks Noah for his input on on about the bigger ships. Fistful of Lead works fine solo. The AI rules from Jay are simple and fun. Yeah, they are. Noah says it works well. Using X-Wing game ships. Yep, that's what I use.
You can use that model with the big game too. Okay.
Yep. Noah says there'll be
Yeah,
plenty of familiar designs in starfighters. Yes, there are. Reese says 2 AI sounds against each other. Sounds like it could start a nuclear holocaust. Oh wait, that's just a movie. You never know with War Mud out in the desert.
Anyway, we'll see.
Reese continues to say, Hexy, pick up one scale and stick with it. You save so much money. Or you don't.
Yeah, what save and hexy, that those two words don't go together.
That's ridiculous. I can't even do that with like one period of naval. Like, come on now, don't pick one scale. You ruin yourself.
Yeah. Hissy says 2 millimeter is very small, but if you're doing a 100,000 man battle, might be good. Exactly. Gonna do a Bestman campaign, combo starfighters, galactic heroes, and bigger battles. Outstanding. Definitely keep us up to date on that. That would be very cool. By the way, if you're interested, Skullforge has Bespin guards and a Lobot, so just saying. And then 15 millimeter, I do not need another scale. Again, it's all dependent on what you're doing, to be honest. And then Chuck says, trouble is in the bag with the Norman figures. It looks like there is 2 different height figures. You know what, Chuck? That's okay, because I will.
Like Jeff, and there's people like Brian. We got the Chihuahua, and then we got the Goober. They both got guts, but one of them grew up next to a nuclear power plant, and the other one is fun size.
Boo, boo.
Anyway,
I'm just, God, you guys are angry today.
I know, man. Maybe they're hangry.
No, Ty just ate.
Yeah, I had a lovely salad brought up to my game room from my wife. How awesome is that?
I just got the screws joke. Good one.
Good Jesus.
Dog, Jeff is on more of a delay than Chris is some days.
No doubt.
I kind of was wishing you'd think of it and like tomorrow at work about 9:30 in the morning to start laughing.
Yeah, just start laughing. Your girls would start calling 911 and stuff like, yep, Fry's lost it. Okay.
Yeah, the problem is if they called 911, they wouldn't be able to find him.
Yeah, that's fair.
I have to think that thing though. If I'm gonna use that.
Didn't get mapped right.
Who's on this map?
Oh. He says, definitely. Skullforge has got some great stuff. I mean, great stuff. Reese says, scale creep is real. My American GIs are closer to 48 millimeters. My North Koreans are 60 millimeter. The Korean War is fought by communist giants, I guess.
Reese, you
There
like
you
that
go.
stuff. Do you have any smaller scale stuff?
I'm going to get Reese hooked on 2 mil just to really screw with people.
There you go. Chuck says, hell, I'm not sure what the figs represent because they're so bloody small. Officers, yeah. Shield wall, too deep, yeah. The thing with really anything smaller than 6 millimeter is you are painting and representing the unit. You don't paint and represent even a squad. In 6 millimeter, you can do squads. 3 millimeter, you're really needing to deal at platoon level. And then 2 millimeter, you're damn near at regiment level. Then, at least each maneuver stand is probably a battalion.
Are you playing with the regular figures?
Yeah. His guy says that's why a 3D printer is awesome. It allows you to scale to your scale. Absolutely. That's why this guy is the height he is and not taller.
That's what that thing is for.
Hey, McMurray.
What's up, Brian?
Look at.
I can't see it.
Hold on.
No, I'm not this thing off.
Oh, Jesus. Well, Mr. Hudson gets his. Oh, there you go. Look at that.
What's the airplane? Let me see the airplane. Oh, is that what is that? Oh, is that? Yeah, oh yeah, that's the.
Made a couple
It
years
looks
ago.
like a P-47 with jets on it.
That's what it is.
There's supposed to be some sort of.
It's got the A-10 Warthog jets on the bottom of it.
There you go.
When did you do that?
Oh, a couple years ago.
Ladies and gentlemen, Thomas Foss is with us.
Hey, Thomas. A couple years ago, Todd.
We've been trying to get a hold of you about your body's extended warranty.
There.
Welcome to the show, Thomas.
Hey, I saw someone put A-10 jets on the back of a B-24 Liberator. Do that model.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That looks like a thing from 40K or something.
Reese says I have 10 Star Wars Legion figures for Galactic Heroes. They're about 35 millimeter, I think, and then my air scale is 1/600th. Everything else is 54 millimeter.
All right. So he don't do
Tom-
tiny pennies.
Thomas says, "Hey lads, again, Thomas, thank you for dropping in. Please check your direct message I sent to you."
Blather with us.
And then Sean Hudson says, "Lol." So, my brother and I, as y'all know, have been working on Kanji City. We kind of put it on the back burner for a little bit, but we are bringing it back up front, hard and heavy. We are hoping to get a 2x3 size table worth of fully painted buildings and at least four teams and bring it down to St. Louis probably sometime in November. So we'll let you know for sure, McMurray. Hopefully you'll have hopefully we can arrange it to you got that Saturday or Sunday off. His cat says at 54 millimeter you have to paint the freckles.
Ah.
Yep, yeah, you do. And Thomas says, yeah, man, I need to jump in at some point and hang with you guys. Work has been rather busy. I get it. Just let me know when a good date is for you, and we can make it happen. Because I'd love to talk about what you got going on, what's coming up, what's happening. Something was said about triremes by one of our crew here. And yeah, definitely want to rap with you. So, Hissy says that's what the brown wash is for. Yep. So, but yeah, our ultimate goal is to have a full 5x6 table for Kanji City, ready for March to Victory. With, I think we're hoping to have 6 teams, 6 5-person teams. So, and we're coming up with our own new traits to add, because what we're hoping to be able to do is kind of codify everything and hand it over to Jay Wiley and say, do with this what you will, but here's Cyberpunk. So, Charles says, what color for the Normans and for the Saxons Vikings? Don't think I have any basis for these in stock. Are you talking about colors for skin tone, or are you talking about colors for armor, or?
Skin tone is pretty simple. Pasty is shit.
Yeah. Look at Jeff's forehead and go paler. Or yeah, you can look at Todd's pasty white arm there. So, yeah, we're hoping to have because we're wanting to get a really good feel of actual cyberpunk. We've got some pretty good ideas for different different traits to really give it a feel of cyberpunk with hacking and whatnot. So we got that going. We got that going on, and then of course I'm also going to be expanding TNT 5 or TNT 4 to make it bigger, to make that a better experience on the game. So, and of course, McMurray is working on 13 different projects at once.
Okay, great.
Get mine up.
Everything from Victorian sci-fi to World War One in East Africa, bodies of water to
Age of sail, dinosaurs, cavemen, yeah, you name it.
yeah, it's great. I mean, do y'all remember the movie My Science Project?
No.
Okay, it is if I remember correctly, a late '80s movie, sci-fi movie, and it's about it's got Dennis Hopper in it and Fisher Stevens, and it's about this kid who's he's a hot rod kind of kid. He loves working on cars. He's a grease monkey type, but Dennis Hopper plays a science teacher that is very much stuck in the 60s. And he has to pass this class, to pass the science class, he's got to come up with a really great science project. So he lives close to an old airfield mothball. No, Noah, that was Weird Science, also a great movie. Now this is called My Science Project, and this kid goes out to this old abandoned airfield, mothballed airplanes and whatnot, and finds this device that, when he hooks it up to electricity, creates a time warp in the high school, where you've got Vietnam era soldiers, Viet Cong and American infantry and Marines in one room, and then you start to have a crossover where you've got dinosaurs, and that's very much in what I think of when I think of McMurray's house.
Noah, real genius is the Val Kilmer one.
Yeah, we already said that.
Oh, all right. Sorry.
Yeah, check it out. Let me see if it's available anywhere for stream, because if it is, I want to watch it again, because it's in my opinion, it's a great movie. My Science Project. There we go. IMDb. It only gets 5.9 out of 10. That's a travesty. That's a travesty, because it is a great show. It is, well, it looks like it's available to buy as a DVD. I don't think it can be streamed, unfortunately. That's a damn shame. It is from 1985. So, yeah, it's a good little flick. I liked it. I liked it a lot. So, wasn't that house? To what extent? Are you talking about House, the
That's a
TV show with Hugh Laurie?
horror movie.
So, so yeah, it's all the different genres and all the different time eras of gaming that are at McMurray's house, kind of a mishmash. I could easily see the Viet Cong firing their AKs at dinosaurs.
I've got some
in
Viet Cong and
McMurray's
I've got
house.
some dinosaurs. We could make that happen without any trouble.
Yep.
We could have eat instead of eat Hitler, have eat Ho.
Yeah.
We could
Ho
do
Chi
that.
Minh.
Yeah. We could do that. That wouldn't be too much of a stretch.
Yeah. So there you go. What you painting there, Jeffy?
Germans.
Germans.
Some more of that, trying to finish up those Austrian Jaegers. And he's like,
All right.
him.
So what do you guys think? I got to clean up here, of course, on the post. But what do you guys think?
Yeah, it's a submarine.
That looks good.
Looks good.
That looks good.
So the rules I'm going to be using these for are called Con Sonar. They're free to download from Facebook, and they can do submarines and surface warfare, etc., etc. Time Bandits is another great film. I love Time Bandits. House. I don't know from horror flicks because I don't watch them. I don't like them. Chuck says at 2mm, do you think I'm gonna care about the skin tone? No.
You'll probably eat them.
Hell, Norman's in blue, aka the French in brown, for Saxon Vikings. The paint ain't gonna be pretty. Doesn't need to be. Tell them how you paint your Civil War dudes there, McMurray.
Which ones?
Your 2mm.
Oh, you're painting strips. You're painting stripes on a textured block. To be honest with you, but then once you get them on a base and you base them out, they look pretty good. The thing that takes the longest with them is just doing the flags.
I've got to admit, they did look pretty damn good.
At that scale, the basing makes all the difference. Whether you're doing ancients for like strength and honor or something, or if you're doing with 2mm, you gotta do like massed ranks. The individuals, like modern stuff after about the turn of the 20th century, really struggles with infantry. Great for armor. Doing 2mm armor, 3mm armor is great, but the infantry tends to break down because you just kind of have ground and then relatively ground colored infantry because you got brown or green uniforms. And you can't really paint much on it because, well, if you paint much on it, then they look goofy as hell. It's all about abstracting it.
Right?
What's up?
I say they didn't fight in masses either, like they did. So I mean, 2mm base of a squad of infantry is not going to look very good compared to that.
Yeah, if the infantry aren't like shoulder to shoulder, at least close to shoulder, then you just have absurdly small bumps. So I mean, you can do it. It just is by no means my preferred. I haven't found a way to make it look anywhere near as good as 2mm mass rank stuff. Hell, 2mm mass rank stuff, guys used to cut the hook side of Velcro.
So would you say that World War I and going forward, don't go below 6mm.
With 6, they go great. You can still paint individual guys. 6, they work great. I got lots of World War II 6 mil. Like they work.
You can do. We can use. What's really strange is you can do 3mm even.
No, that's because the Pico armor stuff is way closer to 4 or 5 sometimes.
Probably, yeah.
But yeah, it's incredible for massed battles. Honestly, if you're playing in 2 mil and you're worried about individual foot soldiers, you're really kind of probably goofing up.
Yeah.
Where 2 mil shines is fighting, Waterloo or Gaugamela or
Right.
that sort of thing. Fighting Gettysburg, not necessarily fighting something where you're not worried about platoons or companies of guys in 2 mil half the time. If you want to, you by all means can. Like for Joy Wargaming's Sneedville campaign, each of my bases, which are I think supposed to be like 72 guys or something, is supposed to represent a company of 150. But that's about as small a scope of game as I've ever seen anyone play in 2mm. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Excuse me, but yeah.
So real quickly, what we have up on the screen here is Reese's 54mm Wyatt Earp.
Wyatt. Is that a Peacemaker?
Just to kind of show,
I believe that's Kurt Russell, is it not?
Yes, it is.
There you go.
That's the Kurt Russell version. That's Reese's version.
There you go.
Did a really good job there, Reese. I like it. Scala Gremlin comes in and says, by the time you're old enough to enjoy 2mm historicals, you're too old to see them. I'm only old enough for 6mm.
Yeah, that's always a problem, isn't it?
Facts there, buddy.
I was just born old, so I'm lucky enough to already have jumped on that train.
And Noah says, too true. So, well, guys, I think for the night we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. A little shorter than normal, but that's okay. Next week, we should be back to Wednesday night. So y'all won't have to go looking for me. We'll be right here. And then, next Wednesday. Not sure. We may or may not have a guest. Otherwise, we'll come up with something to talk about. And we'll have fun as always. So, any last comments, guys?
Keep gaming, man. Game on.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. Keep gaming. Keep sharing your hobby wins either on the Facebook group or the Discord group. We love to see all of the stuff that y'all are doing. So I think for that, we're going to go ahead and call it an evening. And excuse me, until next time, we will see you on the flip side.